Morning. Excited to play another Big East game. Excited certainly to have it at home. Look forward to another great turnout by our students. Kyle, I'll start with Kyle Federico's situation. I'm not ready to really discuss where he's at. It's gonna take me a couple of days here to really evaluate whether or not we think he'll be able to go. It's still up in question right now. We have not set the depth chart behind him as of yet. I'll be meeting with Coach Rossi this afternoon. We had another young man come out this morning to try out, so to speak, to walk on, and we'll see how he performed as well. I will not release his name as of yet, but going forward, we'll have something in place this week, and hopefully have some answers as we get later in the week as to Kyle's availability. The one thing he will not do is kickoffs. That I can tell you right now. Kyle will not do kickoffs. We'll evaluate the field goal issues as we go forward. We have an opponent coming in here, an undefeated conference opponent in Syracuse, 1-0 in our conference. That is an excellent football team. The most prolific passing game in our conference. Designed by Coach Marone, who was with the Saints as they were building that Super Bowl championship team a couple of years ago. As fine an offensive coach as there is in the country. Nate Hackett, from one of the first families of the coaching trees around the country. His dad, Paul, certainly has a very long resume, and Nate's an excellent young offensive coordinator who's going to have a long career and has done a great job. They have the #1 passing attack in our conference, a very talented group of receivers surrounding Ryan Nassib, who has been the top quarterback in our conference. A great challenge to us, a great challenge for our entire defense, not just the secondary, to try to minimize their effect on the game. But they've got excellent running backs as well, and they just have recently unleashed a number 34, who is a big back. They played quite a bit against Pitt, who was very tough to tackle. On defense, very aggressive style of defense, attacking style of defense. Certainly gave us a lot of problems last year. Really limited our ability to run the football, pressured our quarterback throughout the game. It'll be a great challenge for us to move the ball this week and score points. With that, I'd open up for questions.
Coach, regarding Federico's injury, can you tell us about it, and when did it happen?
I really can't tell you anything about it. It happened on one of the kickoffs after the last field goal that he attempted, but other than that, I don't really want to discuss it. We'll have a plan going forward as we get into the week.
Kyle, behind Delalisa, do you have, I know the kid this morning tried out, is there anybody else in the program?
We tried out a number of guys.
Like Dorner and everything?
Everybody, all hands on deck. All hands on deck. Depth chart will be coming out soon.
Again, is that any way could it impact your strategy? Force you to go for two many times when you don't want to, or?
I don't think it'll force us to go for two. I think we'll have the ability to kick extra points. I think where it probably has its biggest effect is, that area of the field where you're trying to decide are you going to try a 50-yard or a 40-yard. You have to really figure out what the top end of his range is, and then game plan accordingly. I don't think extra points will be an issue.
Kyle, what about Bergen, Sam Bergen?
Sam Bergen should be available tomorrow. Should be ready to go.
So the special teams an area you hope to be able to exploit a little more this week. There was some mishaps, we'll put it on the special teams for you against Connecticut. But their net punting, their kickoff returns, they're struggling with that.
I think there were certain things we did well on Saturday in special teams, just from our perspective, covering kicks, covering punts against a really fine kick returner. I was excited about that. And there were other things we just have to be better at. We have to, our field goal protection, which broke down on us one time, we got to get that shored up. We got to be a little more consistent in the punting. I think Justin will do that for us. I think he's a proven commodity. And hopefully we can continue to cover the kicks this week the way we did it last week. I think you look at the things that ultimately are very important in winning football games, and starting field position, drive start, as we call it in coaching, is a critical statistic. And we struggled with it in the second half. We were fortunate to flip the field one time and turn it around. But we struggled with the second half, and we weren't as good with it in the first half as we've been in other games. So I think going forward, we absolutely want to be a little bit better at it.
Coach, you've mentioned a couple times throughout the season, Gary, how happy you are with Gary's ability to do whatever you ask of him within the scheme. Is it hard, to get a 19-year-old to be that unselfish in this age of, so much being put on individuals and stats and wanting to put up numbers, is it hard to get somebody to be that unselfish?
I don't know if hard's the word I would use. I think that goes back to the recruiting process. I think that goes back to the type of people that you recruit in your program. For us, to describe it in a simple way, it's certainly a long process, and so it takes time. Over years, we get to know these young people. But you have to identify the players in your recruiting area, for us, the state of Rutgers, that can help you win a national championship. Then you have a pool of players. And then out of that pool of players, you have to find the ones that are right for your university. Right for your university academically, right for the culture of your football program. And for us, as we identify the quarterback prospects, unselfishness is certainly a big part of it. We want people at every position that are much more concerned about winning the game than they are any personal statistics.
Kyle, is there any sort of special feeling about this game with both Rutgers and Syracuse having strong presences in New York market, and how much that has meant the last couple months?
To me, we don't need any more motivation, really, than winning a Big East championship game. For us, our motivation is to be 1-0 this week. You look at the rosters. Obviously, Southeastern New York is a big part of the state of Rutgers. For us, for them, they really only have one starter on offense from New York City and 2 starters on defense from New York City. So I don't know if what you said is actually accurate. 3 of their 4 defensive linemen are from California and Virginia. Those are areas we really don't target in the recruiting process. So for us, I don't know about what that part that you said, but for us, the only motivation we need is to be 1-0 this week to continue our opportunity to win a Big East championship. That's really where we're going.
Kyle, being a New York guy, is it strange to think that this could be the last time Rutgers and Syracuse meet?
I think it's a statement on where we're at in college football. Change has become the new norm, and unfortunately, some traditional games that have been played over the years, won't be played anymore. I think it happened, the first time in the Big East when, Boston College and Syracuse probably had a long-standing tradition of playing every year, and now they don't play anymore. Maybe they will again at some point. But there's nothing to say that maybe, something couldn't be worked out in the non-conference schedule. But again, those are things I leave to Tim Bernetti.
You used the same personnel in the defensive line the way you did against Connecticut. Were you pleased with the way that group performed? I was pleased with the way they performed, and I think other than the established players, it's going to be another competition this week to see who fights for those extra reps. But I would anticipate the guys that did play would have an opportunity to play again this week. How much will get determined as we go through the week. And you like that now with Scott at the nose?
Scott's proven over time that he's excellent at that position. Now, Scott did a great job for us at 3 technique as well, but I think just because of where we are right now with Ike, we have more depth at the 3 technique position. So, having Scott at the nose guard spot is probably the best thing for us as a defense.
Kyle, how willing are you to trade off those sack numbers when you're still getting pressure on the quarterback?
What do you mean?
Sacrificing.
You're talking about our defense?
Yeah, right.
Pressures, sacks, they all go into playing good defense. I do think when people play us, there's a conscious effort to get the ball out quicker. I think that's why the sacks have been minimized a little bit. I don't think it's anything that has changed with the way we play defense, but I do think the teams we play are conscious of it, and I think that helps us as we go through the game. And I think it certainly has been part of the reason why you've seen our interception numbers maybe go up a little bit.
Kyle, the penalties, are they fixable? And is there a feeling that if you keep on having double-digit totals, that eventually it's going to cost you a game?
I think when teams lose games, everybody tries to figure out the reason why. We looked at, we're not happy with the penalties. We're very critical of them in our staff room and with our players, and we're doing everything we can to fix that. Looked at a very interesting statistic. I think the 5 most penalized teams in the country right now, their record is 21-3. So again, there's a lot of things that go in to winning football games. Drive start, turnovers, rushing attempts, rushing yards. Those are things that have proven over time to win football games. In no way, shape, or form am I saying that we are okay with the amount of penalties we are getting right now. We're not. We're doing everything we can to fix it, but I think it would be a mistake to overreact to it.
How did Savon Hogan's hold up the first game?
Savon did an excellent job. Ran the ball very well in the minimal amount of carries he got, but really made 2 tremendous blocks in protection to allow us to get the ball out and complete passes down the field. against blitzes that ultimately would have got home had he not done his job.
Coach Harmon and Logan both took it pretty hard when Arkansas had that big passing day on you guys. Does their attitude after that kind of give you a little extra confidence that they're up for this challenge? Because obviously they're going to get tested again by Syracuse.
I think this will be a great challenge for them. I do. I think any disappointment they had in the amount of passing yards that Arkansas had will probably serve to motivate them. They can answer that better than I could. But I don't think they're under-motivated when we play a team maybe that doesn't throw it as much as Syracuse does. But I do think this is going to be a tremendous challenge. This will be another test for our defense and our passing defense. But it's not just the secondary. It'll be the secondary, it'll be the linebackers, it'll be the defensive linemen up front trying to get a little bit of pressure on the quarterback. It takes all 11 guys to play good pass defense, not just the back four.
Kyle, along the secondary thing, how did Lorenzo Waters do coming off the Arkansas game and then against UConn?
Lorenzo probably played his best game of the year against UConn. We were very pleased with his performance, both fitting the run game and in the pass game. So we're excited. It was, like I said, it was probably his best game of the year.
How is that then for him to bounce back? What does that mean for him as a player, do you think?
I think when you play a good game, it gives you confidence. Now, the most important part of that is remembering why you played that way. When you play that well, it's probably because you prepared really well. And so you got to go back and look at how you prepared and then try to outwork yourself the following week, and that'll allow you to grow.
With the Cal, after watching the film, how did Jamil look?
Jamil did a nice job for us on the inside, moving down to 3 technique for the first time. I thought we played good run defense, and he's a big part of that.
What did you like about what he did? I mean,
what I like about the way he plays has nothing to do with moving him to 3 technique. He plays physical, and he runs to the ball with effort that's as good as anybody else we play with here on defense. Tremendous passion for the game.
Paul's listed as a starter at fullback. Do you see him using him more exclusively there this week?
I think you'll see Paul in a lot of different spots, just like we do every week. I think you'll see him in the backfield. I think you'll see him on the line. I think you'll see him flexed out in the passing game. We do a lot of things with Paul because he has that type of skill set, and that'll be the case this week.
Kyle, Syracuse in the past always brought a lot of different blitz packages. Do you see that on film again, and what makes them successful in doing that, if they do it on film?
They do it on film, and they play good team defense, and they play very aggressive defense. And they are going to try and make plays in the backfield. Again, I'm repeating myself like last week because it applies. They play defense philosophically the way we do, even though the scheme's a little bit different. They want to make plays in their backfield. They've got a tremendous defensive lineman, number 93, who's an excellent football player on the inside. They've got a defensive end, Brandon Sharp, who's right at the top of our league statistics in sacks. So they've got some talented people up front, which always is a great starting point to defense, but their scheme allows those guys to attack.